So Gloria, you come from New Delhi.
Yes.
And we've heard a lot about the teaching successes there using Anna's presentation, teaching out. So please tell us a little bit about what has happened in New Delhi.
Actually, we started using Anna's presentation in January of 2007, and the main purpose of using the flip chart and Anna's presentation is that you go through a sequence of ideas, insert quotations from the writings of Baha'u'llah. In India, a very big problem with teaching was that people didn't mention that the Baha'i faith is a religion in the beginning, and that Baha'u'llah is a manifestation of God, just like Lord Krishna and Jesus Christ, and that He's the promised one of all. If you look at the introduction of Anna's presentation, all these things are right in the first page. So then you're not hiding anything from the seeker. Being bold, you're being assertive, you're being audacious, as the House of Justice asks us to be. Then you're teaching them directly. So when they accept the Baha'i faith, they're accepting it as a religion. They're accepting Baha'u'llah as a manifestation of God, not as an organization that does good things and as a lotus temple that accepts all the religions, you know, the unity of all religions. Because I think the Baha'i faith in India is known as a force that unites all the religion, but they don't know about Baha'u'llah, and they don't know that it is a religion. I think that made us very bold. We were very afraid to do it the first time in January. But I think when you make yourself do something that you've never done before and you do it for Baha'u'llah, it works.
So Anna's tool, that was really like a tool that focuses...
Yes, so that we didn't go into topics, controversial things.
Right, so you have a script that you follow fairly closely to.
Yes, and then you reach a point where you have to invite the seeker to become a Baha'i. And that was something many of us have never done, because we've been in the institute process, we've been focusing on core activities and just inviting people to the core activities, but not actually asking them that question. And the first time in January, we couldn't find the words. Used many different analogies. We're building a new world order, and would you like to be a brick like us? We did different things. And then another board member, my colleague, used the example of we're all drops. And then if we all get together and work together, we can make a change in this world. But after 3 cycles of growth, I think we've become more audacious, because this last time we actually asked the seekers, do you think you can accept Baha'u'llah as a manifestation of God
directly
today?
as that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And this is, at what stage of the presentation do you ask them?
Yes. Well, actually, we realize that we cannot go through the whole album. Seekers get tired and they lose their interest. So we went through the various, for Indians, the concept of covenant, of manifestations of God, of Baha'u'llah being the most latest, and the unity of mankind. We stopped at that quotation of Abdul Baha, thought of war comes opposite with a throne. Well, if they're sitting and they have more time, then we also go into the life of Baha'u'llah. Because in India, there are many gurus. People are following gurus, and then they think Baha'u'llah is just another guru. But then we talk about how manifestations of God are different, how they suffer for mankind, and how yet they're so victorious. And then we compare it actually to the lives of many of our gurus in India, who are very wealthy and prosperous and living comfortable lives. And then, so that they don't put him on the same level as the various Babas and gurus. So if we have time, we go to that point, to the victory of Baha'u'llah.
And the tool you actually use is the one that's produced here in Malaysia? You actually use the exact tool?
We actually hold it in our hand. And that was also a challenge. The first time I took it out of my bag, I was extremely conscious. But then I realized that they don't know that this is the first time I'm holding this in my hand. And I'm very uncomfortable and nervous. They think I always do it, and this is what the Baha'i, this is how we teach the faith. Actually ask the seekers to read. Read the words of Baha'u'llah.
The quotes. Okay.
Yes, and it really affects them. You know, we don't realize. We think that if we explain to them, they'll be more touched. But when they read the words, they have this. So we went ahead just with using Anna's presentation, the direct teaching approach, and inviting people to be Baha'is. And it's not that... we're all afraid to do it, and we all think that they will feel we're pressurizing them or we're making them do something they don't want to do, but it's not like that. We've experienced over and over again that people are ready to accept Baha'u'llah, and we're the ones who need to ask them.
Okay.
I think
and this is in suburban New Delhi?
Well, suburban and central. In the beginning, it was just suburban, where the receptive population reside. They're not wealthy, but they're not jobless. They all have jobs. They're workers at different stages. So, but in the last 2 cycles, we've started also in the more affluent neighborhoods of Delhi. And we have a smaller population declaring there, but with them too we use Anna's presentation.
Okay, so these were professional people or educated people?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had bank managers, executives, young professionals working in call centers. So these are the Indians that are educated with various degrees and also pursuing their careers, and I guess we consider them materialistic and we think they won't listen.
Yeah.
But they do. And mainly it was, with them it was a devotional in a home, followed by Anna's presentation. Actually divide them into smaller groups and talk to them in detail.
And also you mentioned something about how you were able to get the parents of children in children's classes to do it with them as well. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Is the neighborhoods where we had junior youth classes, children's classes, we considered their parents to be a community of interest. So then every cycle during these days, we hold a large-scale devotional in that neighborhood. In fact, we print about 1,000 invitations. The junior youth and children give them out to their neighbors, their relatives, their friends, and then they perform. They perform what they've learned in their classes during the 3 months. A small skit based on stories from visits of confirmation and small speeches about what the junior youth have learned. And after the junior youth's performance, we see a total change in the parents, both the mothers and the fathers. You can see the expression on their faces. So right after the performance of the junior youth, we announced to them that we would now like to talk to you about what is the force behind us working with your children over this long period of time, why we're working with them, so that you can support us and you can also help us. And then we immediately divide the parents into small groups, and each of us sits with them with the album and directly teach them the faith, and invite them to be Baha'is. And they accept, just like that. Parents are the most receptive. Consolidation also, it's easier because we already have their children with us every week.
And what are you doing in JB? Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, my understanding was that in Johor Bahru they have very good experience with inviting seekers to core activities. They have a large number of seekers in their devotionals, children and junior youth, but they haven't been able to teach their parents directly the faith. So as we were able to use Anna's presentation there, I just came here to do a workshop with them on how to use it, because people think we have to complete the whole book. But we can just do 15 to 20 minutes and actually invite the person to be a Baha'i. That's what we basically did. We approached parents of the junior youth, the seekers who were coming to the devotionals of Baha'i homes, but they had never been taught the faith directly. So we went and taught them the faith directly and invited them to be Baha'is.
So it's basically doing the same thing as you did in New Delhi, applying that in Johor Bahru.
Yes. So here it was in homes, and it was much more tiring because we did it over and over again with sometimes one person, sometimes 2, sometimes a family.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, okay, great. Look forward to the results.